Hello, I'm Sarah, and I'm here to help you create a great sales presentation. In our other video, titled Writing the Perfect Sales Pitch, we outlined how you can use the concept of the hero's journey to convince your prospect using a classical storytelling structure. But what information do you need to include in the deck itself when you sit down to write it? And how do you map that information to that traditional hero's journey structure? Well, this video is here to go a level deeper on the 5 things you should include in any sales pitch deck. Let's get going. Be respectful of your prospect's time and be sure to immediately recognize the pain points they want to solve for. You're cutting straight to the chase. This is the problem that will frame the rest of your sales presentation. Bring the problem to life with data and images and make your prospect feel heard by repeating back to them what they've already told you about their challenges. Next, once you've highlighted a pre-established problem, it's time to hone in on the impact that problem has on your buyer's work, business, and life. This is where you can use assumptive language to provoke a response. If the prospect disagrees with you about your characterization of the problem's impact, that's great. You just learned more about what they really need. Consider your prospect's position within the company. What do they really care about? What determines their career success? The problem may have widespread impact on the business, but very specific impact in terms of their likelihood of success in the area for which they are directly responsible. Hone in on that. One of your key jobs as a salesperson is to create urgency. People tend to cruise along with the status quo until the very last minute. It's just human nature. We hate change and we default to continuing to do things like we always have. To get the prospect to sign on the dotted line, you need to explain to them why they need to act now rather than later. This part of your pitch pivots from pain points to alternatives on the horizon, the road not traveled. Humans also hate to feel like they've missed out on things. It's called loss aversion bias, or more commonly, FOMO. So successful presentations transform this section into a critical fork in the road that requires them to act now. Without being heavy-handed, clearly show the audience what they stand to lose, especially against competitor companies. It's now finally time to show your product for what it is, the knight in shining armor, here to save the day. And this is also the bit where, if you're not careful, it's going to come across as the hard sell. Instead, you need to map product benefits and features specifically to the problems and impact you've already established. Don't dwell on all your product benefits. Instead, keep up your storytelling momentum by describing the impact on your prospect's company. What improvements should they notice in their path towards the promised land? What results will indicate they've arrived? This is the point at which an engaged buyer is bound to have questions. To help them out, you can anticipate these and also provide information that will help them convince others in their organization who may have influence over their final decision. It's tempting to cover every single possible objection in this section. Resist that temptation. Otherwise, it can seem like you're protesting too much or even suggesting product drawbacks the prospect hadn't even thought of. This is a great time to use an appendix you can jump to as needed, or follow up with more information later. And here's just a quick reminder to keep it interactive as you go through your deck. Ask questions, check assumptions, look out for body language. Then, at the end of the meeting, be sure to agree what's coming next in the buying process. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it's best to weave all the elements of a great pitch deck that we've covered here today into a coherent story to keep your prospects engaged. After all, humans are hardwired to love a good story. A great framework to use is the hero's journey. It helps your prospect feel like the hero on their very own quest. And the hero's journey structure also maps easily to the elements we've covered here today. Pause the video here if you want to review the mapping of the structure and the elements more closely. We hope you found this video useful and inspiring. If you'd like to learn more, please do check out the other videos in our Sales Guide series, or read our full sales guide at the link in the description. What's been your experience of building a sales deck? Any tips to share with others? Please drop those in the comments. And if I've inspired you to start rewriting your sales deck, why not use a beautifully designed template that's totally free? Check out the free templates link below. Thanks, and happy selling!